a little cake first, and bring it unto me, and afterward make for thee and for thy son. And I know that might be hard to understand sometimes, but you know what the Bible says? Give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over shall men give unto your bosom. For with the same measure you meet, it shall be met unto you. So sometimes when God mentions it, we need to be able just to give unto others before we partake of ourselves. So remember that light. Let that light guide your path, and let God be your supplier, because after all, he has all of the provisions that you will ever need, brothers and sisters. And please know, God loves you. He loves you, and he does not want you to be without. And if you come unto him, remember what he said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy burden, and I will give you rest. Rest from the famine, rest from the diseases, rest from the peril, rest from the things that you're going through. Because the world is a difficult place, and the prosperity of the wicked, it seems like they are prospering. And you know, you just have to remember who you are. Please remember who you are. Isaiah 41:13 says, for I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. God is our source, my brothers and sisters, the only source that we need. For God is our source that creates all of the resources that we need to survive. So I thank God this morning, and I pray that on this Tuesday, as you go through your day, remember that we can do all things through Christ. Remember, we are the head and not the tail. Please remember that you are more than an overcomer. You are a child of God. And always remember that there is a way out of your mess, and it's JESUS. And that's spelled Jesus, y'all.
Good morning, and welcome to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Ask Your Neighbor can also be heard and seen on our website, WYSHradio.com. And if you are in Anderson, Rome, or Morgan County and have Comcast cable, you can watch Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV Channel 12. Ask Your Neighbor is the program where you call in and do just that. Ask Your Neighbor. Do you have a comment? Do you have a problem? Or do you have a question? Then call in and ask your neighbor. 865-457-1380 or toll free at 877-711-4005. And for those of you that might be listening or watching on the internet, you can email from our website, WYSHradio.com. Just click on the Contact Us button and email your questions. Now sit back and listen as listeners throughout East Tennessee and the entire world answer your questions on Ask Your Neighbor on BBB TV 12 and AM 1380 WYSH.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Ask Your Neighbor this morning. Our pleasure to be along here with you. It's the fourth Tuesday of the month. We've missed one or so, but Stephanie Wells, Director of Anderson County Tourism, has joined us this morning. Hi, Stephanie. How are you, ma'am?
I'm great, Ron. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm like you. I'm hoping spring has sprung.
Yes.
I'm hoping that the cold weather snap. People keep saying, "Oh, we're going to have another cold weather snap here in March." Well, better hurry if we're going to have one. Get it over with.
Yeah,
I don't want to see.
I think Sunday, Easter's supposed to be beautiful. I think that's the first Easter in a while that's been beautiful.
Be pretty,
so I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If the weather doesn't change by then.
Yeah. Knock on wood.
Typical East Tennessee weather probably change on us by then.
This time of year, things start in your neck of the woods start getting busy, don't it?
Yes. Everybody, all the spring events are starting to happen, and then people are getting ready for summer and looking forward to that. So,
vacations, hopefully here.
Yes. I mean, we've already started all of our ads. We started those back in January, so we've already been promoting. People are just planning their vacations earlier.
Yeah.
Some people have had it planned since last year.
Absolutely.
So you had to kind of plan a year in advance anymore. But we start earlier each year, advertising and promoting the area and getting people to come visit. So it's almost a year-round thing anymore.
It's getting to that.
Yeah.
I know that up in Gallenberg, cabin rentals and stuff are year-round.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas
crazy.
on the beach, like mine on the beach is pretty seasonal.
Yes.
But it's not seasonal around here anymore.
No.
People enjoy the mountains all the time.
I mean, we see the seasons with Lake and Windrock. Windrock does very well in the spring and the fall. The Lake, of course, Memorial Day to Labor Day is kind of the peak season. We're starting to see a lot of baby boomers that are coming in the fall. I actually was with a group of UT students last weekend, and we were talking. I was like, well, if you come back next year, come up to the lake, in September. The weather, I mean, you've got to go up there, but when we lived up there, we were always swimming in September. We were still, this past year, I think we saw a lot of people still out there in October because of the weather.
It stayed warm,
But the lake water is usually warmer in the fall than it is in June anyway, so May and June. So
it gets warm in August, the July-August month. It stays warm for a little while. So a lot of folks coming in. So what new do we have going on, or what do we have going on?
Well, I'm going to back up just a little bit and talk about what we just did this past weekend, which was our Norris Lake cleanup.
The cleanup, yes.
So we spread out into all 5 counties and work with, the group is called Norris Lake Project.
Yes.
We created a nonprofit organization, and we've been doing this. Somebody asked me just this past weekend how many years. I was like, I think it's been about 10 years. Well, we've been doing this since 2009. So it's a little bit longer than that. But we've cleaned up a lot of stuff. I'm always surprised at some of the stuff that we bring in. This year, the biggest surprise was a screen door. So we brought in a screen door. We brought in a hot water heater, a window unit, a lot of building materials, those kind of things. And, of course, your typical stuff, the floats and, dry rotted floats and things like that you see. But I'm always surprised at
what people dump in the lake.
What people dump in the lake. So,
it's crazy.
And we always have this debate: is it locals? Is it visitors? Is it locals? Is it visitors? Well, I'm sure that everybody's
contributing.
Everybody's contributing. I always say some of the big stuff. A lot of the stuff that we take off is foam, or those those big black things
device.
Now that they put up under. So some of this stuff just gets knocked loose by the weather.
Sure.
Those kind of things. Some of it's not intentional, and so we want to get that off the water, because that styrofoam, you do not realize this is not styrofoam that you get out of a packing, out of a box when you buy something.
Yeah.
This stuff is solid. It will
it's made to hold up houseboats and other stuff. Yeah, so it's very firm.
Yes, some of it actually has concrete or other materials attached to it, so you don't realize what a danger that is when you're going down the lake. You think, oh, if I hit that, it's just going to break apart.
Wrong.
And no, it's gonna stop your boat. So some of those things are not intentional. Some things are intentional. And some of the things we've gone back to areas that we've been to in the past, and we're not seeing the stuff like we used to.
Well,
so I think some of it we've cleaned up years of dumping, and now we're starting to see that these places are staying clean because people realize that we're patrolling, we're looking, we're picking it up.
I was going to ask you that, and I've probably asked you before, but when you identify a place where obviously people are dumping stuff, is there a way that you can alert TWRA or whoever you can alert and say, hey, can you watch this area? We cleaned it up, but they've been dumping here.
Yes, and it typically falls back on the county, and we have our litter grant programs from and our mayors and our sheriff's departments and everything.
Do we still have the litter grant
program? All 5
program?
counties. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, Anderson County has a strong litter grant program. Campbell County has a very strong litter grant program, and I'm sure the other. But we work with all of them. They're involved in this group. And so, yes, there's a lot of times throughout the year that we get notified of maybe an abandoned boat or something like that. And we'll always contact TVA, TWRA, and our local authorities and let them know and get that removed.
Who are the local authorities that get stuff off of the lake?
Usually through your litter grant program or through your sheriff's department. If on the lake, if it's actually on the lake, it's probably TVA or TWRA.
Yeah.
Depending on where it washed up, it may be a local local. That's the main thing is we try to figure out where it is, what it is. If it has a whole number, where
does
working,
it go?
Yeah, we're working through TWRA to track that person down. A lot of times what happens is the boat got sold and the new person didn't register it, or the old registration numbers are on it. So it's a lot of times it's very hard to track those down, but we do have a group that once we've exhausted all options and we find out that it is truly an abandoned boat, then they'll dismantle it and take it off the lake.
That's good. So how much did you guys pick up? Do you know?
Well, at each location we filled up at least a dumpster, one of the the big dumpster, the big construction dumpsters. I was at Anderson County Park. We filled up to a dumpster and we brought in 12 tires.
Oh, wow.
Hickory Star, I know they filled up 2 dumpsters. They dismantled a boat and had one location, I think, had 40-something tires. Yes. So that's one of the things, too, is, you have, don't want to point fingers or name names, but you have companies that are disposing of their tires versus doing it properly. So, and of course, we can't throw those in a dumpster.
We have to
take
properly.
them and dispose of them properly. And that's where we work with our solid waste departments, and they're all really happy to help us out to make sure that it gets disposed of properly. So
what happens if they catch someone doing that?
There's fines. And it depends.
Catches them?
It's usually through the sheriff's department.
Okay.
I know with Campbell County specifically, they have a litter grant officer that is very aggressive, and he will track them down, and they will go through the whole process.
Really?
Oh, yes. So there are fines associated with it.
Do we have a litter grant officer that you know
I
of?
believe so. I know I usually work with Jeff Trabaka in the solid waste department. I think our model is just a little bit differently than Campbell County's model, but again, it's a crime. I mean, if you can contact the sheriff's department and they can track them down. So
good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to avoid floating logs and everything else in the lake, having to dodge tires and
absolutely.
everything else that don't belong there.
Yeah. But at my location, we probably had over 57 volunteers, and half of those were UT students. So UT has a website that we post our event information on, and they can sign up and come out. And so many of these students we had one young lady from New York. We had a lot of people, a lot of them were from Nashville. So most of them were not from this area, and they were very impressed with the lake, and they had a great time. And it's great to see those younger people. And then we had a lot of local people and we have a lot of people that come year after year after year and help us do this. So we do it twice a year, and then we have some little cleanups along the way throughout the year too. But our 2 big ones, I'm sure we had over 100 volunteers.
That's great.
Spread out, through all the different areas.
Still, 800 miles of shoreline is a lot to get.
Yes, it is. It is. And you go out and you work, and you're thinking, okay, this is a lot, but again, we're just covering a few miles each time. So, but we are throughout the year, we're trying to find those big dump sites and get some of that removed. So, and then Campbell County, they worked out at Flat Hollow Marina too, and brought in a lot in that area too. So
that's cool. Well, that's great. Yeah. It's good that we get it done. You guys go out there and do it.
And if you're interested in helping us, the website is norrislakeproject.com. I think you posted our past event on the website, so you can also find it there on your website. But if you want to, you can sign up anytime, and then we'll put you on our email list, and we'll let you know about future cleanups and other projects that we've got going on.
Good deal. NorrisLakeProjects.com?
Yes, Project.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal. Good. Well, that's fantastic.
So I just want to kind of get that information out there. Even though the event has passed, we are always working on that. So feel free to sign up, and we'll let you know about future events.
Good deal. And like you said, we put it on our website too. So you guys watch for that on ours, and we'll link to yours.
Yes. So, and then this coming weekend, the last weekend of March and the first week of April, every year, Norris Dam State Park partners with TVA to do their spring wildflower hikes. So they have that's 2 Saturdays, but they have numerous hikes throughout the day, and these are usually along the River Bluff Trail, which is on the opposite side of the river than the Songbird Trail. Yeah. So a lot of people, that's not as heavily followed or heavily traffic area, but they usually hikes are led by rangers from Norris Dam State Park, and then I think some TVA employees, and very knowledgeable about the wildflowers in the area, and it's really enjoyable. Little hike. It's probably an easy hike. It's not really strenuous. It's not real strenuous. But wear appropriate clothing, take your water bottle, those kind of things. But it's really neat to learn what some of these wildflowers are and how they got their names and those kind of things too.
And they do that this Saturday and next?
Yes, this Saturday, and then it's always the last Saturday and the first Saturday of March and April.
Okay. And then is there a cost to register? How do you do
No, it's free, but you go to their website to sign up. If you Google Norris Dam State Park, you'll be taken to the state website, and they'll have events that you can click on there and register. You can always go to our website, too, at Adventure Anderson, and look at the events and get the links.
Okay, cool. Sounds like something fun to do.
Yes.
Might take my kids.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get them outside for once.
Absolutely.
That would be fun. So all the information about times and dates and all that will be on there.
And if I remember correctly, they do 3 of them a day. It might be down to 2, but I know they do multiples on those days.
And you say it's a pretty easy hike.
Yes.
All right,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good.
The also, and I don't know if Catherine has been here to talk to you about this, but the Mosaic Festival is coming up April the 6th.
She has not. She did last year, but we haven't had it this year.
Yes.
The 6th.
Yes, and different. They have something different this year. They are going to have it at Terrapin Hill. So if you're not aware where Terrapin Hill is, basically if you're at the community center and you look toward Clinton Community Center and you look toward Clinton Library, there is a little strip of park that goes up the hill up to Main Street.
Right over,
Yes, and the Historic Downtown Committee has worked very hard on kind of making that a destination. They just installed, if you saw on Facebook, they just put an art installation there with the little turtle kind of laying on his back and he's reading a book. If y'all seen that on Facebook, that's where that is. But they have moved the event to that area. So it won't be in downtown Clinton. It'll be over there on Terrapin Hill around the community center. There's parking there at the community center. In that area right there. So, but there's dancing, there's drama, there's different art, fashion.
Didn't they name that because of the turtles that were there early on? I can't remember. I believe Joey was talking about that when he was here. Yeah, he's the historian.
Yes.
He's got all the information.
Yes.
He was talking about how they named that, and I just can't. Had something to do with the turtles that live there.
Probably. I can't. I don't remember that story either. I don't know why they landed on a turtle, but I do know that Catherine's dad, wrote a book and illustrated it. I think he illustrated it about the turtle. And so it's really cool.
It is cool.
It's kind of what I love about tourism is you can take an existing location and kind of just change it up a little bit, and then all of a sudden
it's a new location.
You got a destination, you got an attraction. Sure. It's the same thing with Windrock on a grand scale. I mean, Windrock has been in existence since there've been 150 years, and it's always been for coal mining and timber and gas and all those kind of things, and they turned it into ATVing, and now that is their one growing market.
And they are growing.
They are growing. Growing. So
the Mosaic Festival is coming up. The Antique Festival is not far away, is it?
No, it is first Saturday in May. So that is May 2nd and May 3rd and 4th.
Got it.
And that'll be downtown Clinton. They'll have artisans and antique dealers. And I believe that they are on the street both days. Used to, it was only one day, but I think that they are on the street both days I know they are for the fall. I'm pretty sure they are for the spring.
Okay.
So
good. So we got lots of stuff coming.
Yes.
This time of year starts to get, like I said earlier, starts to get real busy.
Yes.
So what other things do we have that we're drawing people in or that our locals can go do and have fun?
Well, Windrock is having their shindig.
Got it.
April the 18th through the 20th, and their headliners are Chase Rice, Corey Kent, and Trey Landon.
There you go.
So, but there's also a lot of, things centered around ATVing, a lot of events for that also. So, and that's all on our website. So you can get all the information there.
Yes. Good.
But during that event, they also have the concert on the Saturday night. So.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's other events up at Windrock. They have a Jeep, ladies Jeep Academy going on up there April 11th to the 14th, and they have a lot of other groups that come in, clubs like Jeep, Land Rover,
They had Toyota.
trucks.
We were I saw where they're going to bring Toyota in here a while back, and I guess they demonstrate some of their new wares and bring these new trucks up and let people gander at them and stuff.
Yep.
That's cool.
So their events are always on our website, but they also have information on their website.
And they're pretty much going, I mean, they're seasonal, but they have stuff going on, seems like all the time.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just a lot of people don't like to ATV in the heat of July. I mean, you're just like, I want to be on some water somewhere.
Exactly.
But they've seen a lot of people come and use their campground that are not ATVing. They just built a new section of their campground, which I think is really cool. It's got a great panoramic view of the mountains. It's gorgeous. And they put some buddy sites in.
He was talking when he was here that they were going to do that, where they could put like 4 or 5 people together.
So when usually they'll line up all the same way, and your door's on the opposite side of the person that you're with. But this will be where the doors can be face to face, and they're in there. Yeah, you share a common area, picnic tables, and grills and those kind of things. So it's the view is what's amazing, because the other parts of the campsite that you're on, you're in the mountains, but this one's got just almost a 360 view of the mountains, like you're out there on top of them. So it's really gorgeous.
That's cool.
You can just drive up there and look at the campground if you want to.
Yeah, just drive up there and enjoy the sights.
Yeah, but you can, you don't have to have an ATV to go up there and camp. So, but it's really, really pretty up there.
That place has, just flourished, hasn't it? They've done very, very well, taking that and running with it and turning it into a great, great asset for our area.
Absolutely. It's also rowing season. So Oak Ridge you probably will see them. You probably already seen them practicing.
I have. Yes, you have.
I was actually driving down the road one day to Oak Ridge, and I saw them rowing, and I just kind of pulled over and watched. They're just so majestic or something. I don't know. I know they're putting a lot of energy into it, but it really just looks like they're
very
just
synchronized.
Effortless.
Yeah. And I can always tell, because you hear them, it's like, you can hear the guy on the, way before they get here, I'm like, what is that? And then I realize it's the guy, whoever the caller is, that's telling them in a little power boat. I can hear them way before they get to the house. But yeah, we've seen numerous schools out there. And then I saw where they had a regatta here just a while back.
Well, they're having April the 20th through the 21st is the Sierra, which is the Southern Intercollegiate Rowing Association Championship. So that'll be April 20th, 21st. And then Dogwood Junior Champion is the 26th through the 28th.
Schools come in from all over the place, don't they?
Well, that one is clubs. So, and it's 12th graders.
Oh, okay.
So, or it's school age. That one is school age, and then I think of course, the intercollegiate is colleges.
I drove through there the other day. I can't remember what day it was, but I noticed that the Navy Academy, their boat was, their bus was parked out there.
Yep.
So obviously they were out there rowing. I always think it's cool to see all the different college buses. Most of them identify what school they're from, and so you see Iowa or where. It's just amazing where all they come from.
Yep. Someone sent me a picture of a bus at the Hampton in Clinton from Michigan.
Yeah.
It had their school on the side, and so
I can't even begin to tell you all the schools that I've seen. That come through there, and just it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people coming in.
Yep, absolutely. The Museum of Appalachia is doing their sheep shearing days, and they'll have 3 days. It's April the 26th, May 3rd, and May 10th. And if you have little ones or school-age children, I find it fascinating myself, but it's really something that I think you'd enjoy taking them to. We walk around in cotton clothes all the time, and nobody has an idea of where that comes from, or any of our clothing that we do. So, they walk through the whole process and actually are weaving some of the items they're spinning it and weaving and all those kind of things too. So it's really cool. It's really cool to see. And what my favorite part is the herding, is the dogs that do the sheep herding. I find that it's like I can't even get my dog to sit. So I'm like, it's really fascinating how
who do they get to bring the dogs in? Do they?
There is a gentleman that does that. He comes and he's there and he's talking to people about the process and the dogs, and of course I think there's some dogs that are naturally bred for that. But yeah, I find it pretty amazing that.
That's cool.
That they know to do, just about by a little whistle, or they know. Yeah,
they know.
They're not even instructed sometimes. They just see this sheep acting crazy, and they're like, "Hey, you need to get back over here." So,
yeah, that's cool.
I find it really fascinating.
Well, that's cool.
Like I said, your little kids. It's great, educational, fun, edutainment is what we kind of call it in the industry. So it's a great event. And again, just you can go to our website or the Museum of Appalachia website and sign up. There is a cost associated with it, but they do have memberships also. So if you find yourself visiting the museum frequently, they have memberships that will get you into events for free.
That's cool.
So involved in your membership.
How
so kind of an annual pass.
How are they coming with their campground?
I don't think that they'll give us a date anymore because it's kind of been a moving target. But I drove up there the other day, and of course you see a lot more progress.
Yeah.
So you see the bathhouses, and there's not especially with the campground, there's not just a ton of things that you can be like, oh, that's done.
Yeah.
It's not like a building for the whole thing, but the bathhouses are done. I've started seeing some stuff up in the woods where they're going to do the little tree houses and the little cabins up there. So I think they're pretty close.
Good.
I think they were hoping to be open for this summer season, so I'm hoping they're still on track for that.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
That's good.
But it's same thing with Aspire Park. I mean, supply chain, it is just different construction, trying to get someone, and it's not trying to get somebody to show up. My husband's in construction, and my family is, and it's not a matter of that they don't want to show up. They do. They just are such demand and so behind.
I was talking to Joe, and that's what he said. I'd love to tell you I can open it in May, but he said we're at the mercy of the supply chain. It's been crazy. So there's a lot of people that are suffering the same thing when you're trying to build something or you need things. So.
Yeah, and I think the employment situation has calmed down just a little bit, but you still have a very hard time trying to find employees.
Yeah.
So I think anybody that wants a job has got a job. So.
What have you heard about Aspire? Have they given you a tentative date?
No, but I have seen where they're hiring, so that's promising. I mean, I've seen that online in different places, so that's.
I know they were hoping. I know what the hope date is.
Yeah, that's usually a key indicator that you're about to open if you're going to take on the liability of employees.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like it's coming along.
Oh, it's beautiful, and I like how it just fits.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's just seamless.
Comes
right out of that hill and right over that.
Yeah, they've made it perfectly with the landscape in there. And then when you're down in it, you don't see up at the road. It's like it's really nice.
It is really nice. Yeah. Of course, I asked me when we're building the campground at the museum, like, how do you feel about that? It's like, do we really need that? And I said, listen, I know the family well enough to know that anything they do is going to be nice. Same thing with Joe. I mean, anything he does is going to be nice.
It's going to be really
and it's going to be community minded, and it's going to, it's going to be a.
It's going to be a huge asset.
Yes, absolutely.
Huge asset.
That's the words I was looking for.
And there's no telling how much he's sunk into that to make that. It's going to be a true gem right in the middle of,
Well, and there's so much more behind there that you don't see.
Yeah.
With the trails and everything. So it's going to be for the community. It's going to be for visitors. It's going to be economic development, which is, in turn is for the community.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it.
Good. So fingers crossed. Yes. Maybe this summer. Who knows?
Yes. Speaking of mountain biking, we also have the NATS, which is the Norris Lake Area Trail System. Their poker run April the 27th, and it is starting at Clinch River Brewing. They're a sponsor with us this year also, and it'll start there, go up through Norris Dam State Park, through the Norris Watershed. There's a 15-mile option and a 24-mile option. So, but that is it's not a race. It's just kind of a fun event. People of all ages. We've had teenagers and middle schoolers participate with us in that event. But it is a fundraiser also. So all the money raised goes back to the trails.
Okay.
And we're working on a project right now to create a parking area to access the trails.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Yeah, so it's, we probably have, I think we've had about 150 participants, and we've had some visitors come in and participate in that event also. It's something that we're hoping to grow,
Sure.
Probably a little at a time, because you don't really want to throw 200 people out on the trails all at one time, but we do stagger the start time between the two options, but it's a great kind of low-key just event. And if you're not familiar with the trails, we mark the trails, so it's a good way to get familiar with the trails in a community, in an event setting. When did we do that?
April
the 27th.
Okay.
And we start at Clinch River Brewing that morning. I think the first one goes out about 9:30. So,
okay.
And they usually wrap up. We're usually done by 1 o'clock.
Okay.
So then they all like to hang out. It's a community. I mean, they all like to hang out and
drink beer.
Yes. Eat and drink.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Good. What else is happening?
I think that's kind of all until we get into the summer, so won't overload you. But there's just a lot. There's a lot happening in the downtown area that I'm excited about too. A lot of new businesses that I'm hearing about that are, I don't usually tell people something's coming for sure until I see a ribbon cutting or a permit bought or, something like that. Because I hear a lot of things that don't ever come to fruition for whatever reason, usually out of anybody's control.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you're going to start seeing some new businesses in the area. And again, with Aspire Park hopefully opening soon, just a lot of great things, new things happening for the area.
I know this is not necessarily in your wheelhouse, but I just, we've been getting a lot of curious calls about the Ingalls Kmart properties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I know that we were working on that in 2009.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on.
Well, and I understand the frustration of the community, and they're like, we would like to have this, and we would like to have that. Why can't they get us this, and why can't they get us that? And again, a lot of that stuff is totally out of our control.
Oh, it's private.
I mean,
it's
same
private
thing,
property.
With the it's their property. Same thing with the Magnet Mills site. I mean, it's their property. We, just like your house, I can't come in and say, I don't like the color of your roof. I want you to change it.
Exactly.
Or I don't like the way your columns look. I want you to change it. So, there's a lot of times that our county leaders want things to happen, and their hands are tied. But it's all about the dollar, honestly.
There's a bunch of stuff they could do with that.
Yeah, it's a lot about rooftops. It's a lot about, a lot of the factors that play into it. So I see county, city government as creating that infrastructure that makes it conducive.
The welcome mat.
Yes, for businesses to come and, like, for example, if you have someone... I know right now the county is going through their zoning regulations and trying to tidy some things up. And that makes a big difference, making sure that all those I's are dotted and T's are crossed so when somebody does come in and wants to develop, that we do it in a way that, is beneficial to the community versus hurting the community. Yeah. So
I know that my kids are like, that'd be a great place for a skating rink. That'd be I hear skateboard park.
Yes.
I hear that a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe the Ingalls family will find something to do with that sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Well, good. It sounds like that. I mean, we're right on track. We've talked before many times about the revenue that people traveling here, coming here to vacation with us, brings into the area, and it continues to grow, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Good. We have, we've kind of coming off of that COVID high. We're kind of getting back to normal growth. Mm-hmm. We usually increase about 5% every year, and so that's when you go back and you look. I'll go back to 2019 and kind of average it out. We have maintained that. Average 5%.
Did we retain the COVID bump? You know what I mean?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
we kind of bumped up, and then we kind of started coming back down. But
People came here because they could be outside and
Yes.
you could do so. But
Yes.
now they can get back inside, so it's slowed down a little bit.
Yes,
Okay.
or they can now go. They feel comfortable going on a cruise or going to Disney or something like that. But we're still up. I mean, if you go back to 2019, we are where we should have been if COVID never happened.
So we're still growing at the rate
yes,
we should.
Yes,
That's good.
absolutely. And some of that different factors. You have increase in rates. You have increase. It costs you more to stay in a hotel now than it used to.
True.
So of course that means your hotel.
And to drive to the hotel.
Yes, so that means your taxes are, that's also going to increase.
Sure.
The hotel tax and the sales tax. So we're going to see those increases just because of rate increases, but we're also seeing visitation increases.
Seems like, too, when things go up, that we become a more appealing option because
Absolutely.
you pay to get your campsite, and then you entertain yourself on the mountain all day without having to spend like you would spend if you went to Disney.
Absolutely.
So we become, as I think inflation continues to go up and prices continue to go through the roof, it makes coming and playing in the mountains or on the lake a much more appealing
Absolutely.
choice.
I mean, you can go, and I hate to say cheap, I hate to say free.
Well, but it is.
But it's priceless. I mean, there is no cost associated with it, but you're getting a priceless experience.
Sure.
So with your family, and we're seeing a lot of those people that they bought these toys during COVID, and they're continuing to use them. They bought ATVs or UTVs or a camper or a boat, and they're looking for a place to continue to use it rather than spending, $10,000 to take a family of four to Disney.
My stepdaughter and her husband just bought a side-by-side, and they've been going out on it on a regular basis. Love it. They're having a great time. They're new to it. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, people are waking up to find we've got a lot of fun stuff right here in the backyard to play with.
Well, if you look at our visitation, it's usually a Thursday through Sunday is our peak.
Good.
I guess the people that come and visit the area are Thursday through Sunday, and the repeat. We have usually at least twice that they've come to the area in a year. So the majority of those people.
And you can rent side by sides and stuff there too.
At Windrock.
If you don't want to invest $20,000 to $40,000, you can go up there, rent one for a day, and see if your family likes it before you drop.
Same thing
money.
with a boat. A lot of our marinas rent pontoon boats or runabouts, so jet skis.
Sure.
So that's my mom and dad when they moved off the lake, they sold their pontoon boat, and we're like, what are we going to do now? But we've rented some in the past and gone out just for a couple of days. So
yeah. Well, that's good.
And I think there's actually one place now that does like a boat share.
Oh, really?
Yes, where you pay a fee and it's kind of like a timeshare.
6 people on the boat. You get it this weekend and this weekend.
Because it's not cheap. Not only when you own the boat, then you've got to keep it somewhere. And I think I'm starting to see a lot more storage places that just for campers and boats versus your maybe
I think that has a lot to do with COVID. I think during those years, it's like you either were going to go do something outside, or you were going to stay at the house and watch TV. And so people invested in pull behinds, or they invested in a camper.
They take their stimulus money.
And so they've got them now. Use them.
Yeah.
Or park them, put them somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
You're right. I mean, we've had storage facilities popping up everywhere.
Yes. And most homes that are built now, they're barely a 2-car garage.
Oh, yeah.
With a very small driveway, and a lot of them have, codes that you can't park some of those things. Yes. So.
I tell you what, we've just got too much stuff. My garage is chaotic. I mean, chaotic. 3 go-karts, motorcycles, cars. I mean, it's just chaotic. So I could use a storage space. It's odd because I'm going to move the stuff from my garage to a storage space so I could use my garage as a garage.
It's a garage. Park your cars in.
But still. Well, good. It's nice to see that the folks at Windrock. How many different entertainment facilities do we have up there? I mean,
they have the Hollow, Windrock Hollow is where they have the stage.
Gotcha.
Now, throughout the year at the general store, they've started doing on Saturdays having live music at the general store. So there's a little out porch. Yes, there's a little outside area there, a very nice area.
And they got cabins now.
Yes, they have cabins up at near the campground, but they also have them kind of spread out along the road as you go in different areas. So they have them from two bedroom or one bedroom all the way up. I think their largest one can sleep over 20 people. So.
And first thing my kids would ask, do they have Wi-Fi?
I think they actually are working on that.
Right.
But
I wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
If I were to, first of all, it'd be like a kicking and screaming to get Jacob to go. He'd be like, no, I don't want to go. But once I got him there, especially if there was a side-by-side involved or something with a motor on it, get them out in the woods, they would probably enjoy themselves without the phone and computer for a few minutes, you know? And get back to the way we played on outside when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Good. Anything else?
I think that's all I can think of. Again, our website, there's always information on there for the things
people
that
the
are
website
going
address.
All the way through the summer. AdventureAnderson.com. AdventureAnderson.com.
I know.
We still have the y'allcome.org. You can still get there from that domain. We did not give it up. So
AdventureAnderson.com or y'allcome.org, right?
Yes.
And from there, you can find all the information Stephanie was talking about. Stephanie Wells is the executive director of the Anderson County Tourism Board.
Yes.
All that stuff. And we've got.
Yes.
How you like the new place?
I like it.
You good?
Yep. It's nice. It's nice being down in town.
Yeah, right in town.
We walked around, get out and walk.
Walk to Hoskins for lunch.
Yes, absolutely.
Good deal.
Absolutely. So.
Well, it's good that you got back. We missed a couple. It's kind of during that winter cold kind of season, it kind of lulls anyway, but now we're getting back into it.
Well, like I said, we're really, you think summer's our busy time, but for us, it's January and February, trying to get everything pushed out and get all the ads going and everything lined up for the summer.
Y'all still going to Cincinnati and Michigan and the boat shows and stuff like that?
Yes, we went to Cincinnati and Indianapolis this year. So they've changed a lot, especially the Cincinnati show. It's grown from just a boat show to more of an outdoor show, and they're actually, it's always been downtown, and they're moving it next year, so that'll be a change up. The one in
because it's bigger, or
because of the facilities, they're remodeling the facilities, and so I don't know if they'll take it back downtown or probably just see how this one goes. But that show, a lot of people already know about the area, so we're talking more about Windrock at that show, honestly, than the lake. But
is that because the lake is full?
Well, because most of those people in that area already know about it.
Gotcha.
And all the other marinas are there, so they've kind of heard the spiel before they get to us. So they just kind of want to know what we have to offer and with us representing a county versus one individual business. We're kind of that, we don't have any bias. We just kind of tell them, here's go to Anderson County, but you can go here or go there, and camping. Oh my goodness, we get so many questions about camping. So where can they take their RV? Really? So that's probably the number one question this year that we got was camping.
When you market, and obviously this is about marketing, what is our area, our distance of impact that we're marketing to that you feel comfortable that people are like, yeah, it's a half day's drive, or what's our formula?
We're usually 4 to 8 hours, and I try to stay along the I-75, I-40 corridor.
Gotcha.
With ARPA, which is American Recovery, ARPA.
Something.
Yeah. It's basically COVID money is what everybody calls it, but some of the money that was distributed after COVID, we were able to get a grant with the state to do transformational marketing. So something that we have never done before, or in an area we have never done before. So again, if you look at our typical visitor, they're from that I-75, 40 corridors.
Gotcha.
And so what we've done is kind of exit and gone up into Virginia, up the 81 corridor, over into like Roanoke, that area.
Sure.
Then coming over into Louisville, Kentucky, up 65, I think that is, kind of over there's something that goes over there, and then going down towards Birmingham, Alabama, and then over into like Columbia, South Carolina, and that area. So we've kind of, if you look at the map,
instead of going up and down,
we're going X. So when we market to that area, it's all about just familiarization, trying to get them, educate them about the area, not specifically where to go, but a lot of times in our marketing we say East Tennessee. Come to East Tennessee, because they don't know Anderson County from Campbell County, Claiborne County, or Granger County.
But they know Smoky Mountains.
But they know the mountains of East Tennessee, and they know water. What are they going to do when they come to our area? Especially when we go west, because they're so flat. They are very interested in our mountains and ATVing and just driving around and seeing the mountains. So,
is there a way you've ever thought of, because people from everywhere come to the Smokies, if we could market to those people while they're here at the Smokies and just draw them down a few, come down 45 minutes down the street and see what we've got.
Yes, we use that a lot of times in our kind of piggybacking off on what they're doing. And in areas they're advertising in. So we always 45 minutes from the Smoky Mountains.
Really?
Yeah, if you go through Townsend. So we get that question like, how far are you from the Smoky Mountains? Like, well, if there's no traffic, if there's no traffic, you can get there in 45 minutes. But
quick.
We definitely have seen people that are kind of tired of that's maybe they might want to go up there for a day and do Dollywood or something like that. But I think you have a lot of people that are really looking for that authentic.
But see, we didn't go this year. We took the kids. We got a cabin last year. Tracy and I did. We took all the kids and we had fun. We did. We took them down to Gatlinburg for a day and kind of let them run wild. But this year we kind of the same thing. We're like, we did that, and it's costly. It's expensive.
Yeah.
So we might look at. I don't know. We've taken them camping before in an RV, and we let them take two friends. So we had 5 children.
Oh my goodness!
5 kids,
in an RV.
And me and Tracy in a 40-foot RV. Yeah, so we will never do that again, but we will, we will take hours camping sometime.
Yeah.
That's why that's why I asked about cabins.
Yes. Well, and see, our
separate
purchase,
bedrooms, cabins.
Yes. Our purchase during COVID was kayaks.
Okay.
So my husband had a boat. We got rid of it, and we use our kayaks.
Yeah.
And we are trying to go to all the state parks that have a body of water.
Okay.
So. Yeah, that's
cool.
Yes. So we love Big Ridge. We love, going down the Clinch. One of our favorite things is put in at Miller Island and float down the Clinch and take out at Peach Orchard. I've not been brave enough to go all the way to the Highway 61 bridge yet. That's our next trick. But usually, we can take about 4 hours and float just that area. We take our time. They fish. I read a book. We, there's a
float.
We float. There's one little area, right is where the interstate bridge crosses the Clinch on 75.
Yeah.
If you'll look kind of down. Take your eyes off the road for just 1 second.
Yeah.
You'll see, I think it's Coal Creek that comes out from Rocky Top that dumps out into the Clinch right there. And so we'll go up through there. It's really shaded. It's really nice in the summer because the water is 50
ice
degrees.
Cold,
yes. Yeah. So you can kind of dip your toe in there and chill and cool off a little bit. But there's a lot of really cool rock formations up there through that little area.
It's nice to look at.
So yes. Yeah. Just go up through there and fish. And that's usually where we eat lunch. And
if you're doing it now, be careful because they're dropping the lake or they're dropping the river.
Yes.
And Tracy got her kayak out yesterday. Her and her friend did, and she was like, "You wouldn't believe the current." And I didn't even think about it till I looked out last night and I saw that. She said the water's down. It was muddy. That the current's pushing because they're sucking all that water out right now. Yeah. So folks can do their spring stuff. They do it twice a year.
Yeah, I say they do a cleanup on Mountain Hill. That's probably.
It's usually
this coming weekend.
That's probably what they're doing because they've got it dropped 15, 20 feet out on the bank where you can walk right now and pick up your trash and get your riprap and all the stuff I probably won't get done that I need to do. So.
Well, we put in there in Oak Ridge and paddled around that area too. And again, my husband and son like to fish, and I'm just along for the ride. So, yeah, but there's a lot of places right here in this area that
There's a lot of things to do that you lose sight of it because we're here all the time. We don't think about it. Like we were talking when you brought the gentleman from Windrock. I rode those mountains before anybody except coal miners.
Yes.
My dad knew him because he drove a coal truck up there from time to time. But I remember taking advantage of them as a kid and get back there, and it's like you're in a whole new world.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. So it's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff.
Well, we're fortunate that we have a lot of businesses that are very conscientious too about their development and have done a really good job.
Have you heard of some new like venues coming to town up there? I know right up off the Oneida exit going back into what used to be Thacker World, Coal Town. I know we went up a couple years ago with some of the folks that had the property up there, and they were wanting to build a concert venue, outdoor concert venue. They were working on that then. I don't know. I mean, that was right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
That's probably the spring of when COVID hit. That was probably right there. They started talking about COVID in March. That was probably April of that year, 2020, I reckon, somewhere in that vicinity. So
I have not. I know I've heard some whispers about Brushy Mountain wanting to do some different things. I know at one time they planned on doing a campground over there.
You know what they do?
I think that was still coming back.
Tell you something they do that's really cool. We've worked with them since they started doing the concerts. We're got Travis Tritt this year. I think we got Jamie Johnson this year. We've got, I'm going to forget who we've got, and then people get mad at me. But anyway, we've got quite a few that Merle's doing up there. But I love that they've got this open camp area, and they let you stay for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can just set your tent up.
Oh, yeah.
And so people are at the concert, and you just walk back, and you can, if indeed you've ingested any alcohol or whatever, you just put your tent up and go to sleep. And I thought, well, that's really cool.
That is cool.
They've got that there, so they allow that free camping.
Yes, yeah.
I also didn't know this. It's huge, but they are full. They are at capacity at 5,000 people in that.
Oh, okay.
I thought,
wow.
And the only reason I know
it would
that,
be more than that.
I thought it was more than that. I sincerely did, because I thought we had about 8,000 at the Dwight Yoakam concert. But anyway, that said, they keep it full. I mean, I don't know too many times that they haven't either sold out or got very near sold out.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it's a great, if you've not seen a concert there, it's a great place to see a concert with those cliffs in the background, those big rocks in the background. It's a pretty place. So.
Well, if you haven't visited there, you need to.
I've never taken the tour.
It's very fascinating. We were actually there before it closed because they'd already decommissioned it and the county was trying to decide what to do with it. So they brought several tourism professionals in there to meet and kind of brainstorm. And so, going in afterwards too, being there when the inmates were there is,
interesting.
Very interesting. What I love is just talking with the guards. A lot of the retired guards are there. They do the tours, just getting their
Some of the prisoners are there. They do the tours.
Yes. But this is their job.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. But this is their job. They deal with it every day, and just talk about some of the things that happen like it's just another day at your job.
I have a friend that works at the jail, and he was talking about in times past when they still had to take prisoners up there. And, it was pretty rough. I mean, that they didn't send the nice guys up there.
No.
That was for the hardened
Most
criminals.
of the times you didn't come out. I mean, you were there for life. But just how it links to what happened in Coal Creek and Lake City, also Rocky Top. How it links to that those mines, the convict lease system was abolished. They went and built that facility, and they operated a mine out of it. So they basically did a rotation. So the bed was shared. Your bed was shared. You had somebody out working 12 hours. They came back and took your room, and you went out and worked 12 hours. So it was a constant rotation with the coal mines there also. So they basically doubled their capacity.
It might do some prisoners good to do that again. Get them out working. I don't know.
Maybe. But it's just the history of it's very interesting. And then, of course, James Earl. I'm going to say that wrong.
Yes.
Not. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, thank you.
And he was housed there and escaped there, and
I remember. I don't remember, but Dan Bell, that works for me, was doing news at the time for WIVK, and they sent him up there, and he was up there when they caught him and brought him back. He didn't get to interview him or anything, but that was a big deal. He got out, and people were
yes,
it was a big deal.
Well, there was a gentleman from our church that worked for the FBI at the time and had the dogs that tracked him.
Really?
So when you look at the front of the Knoxville News Sentinel, it's him walking him back.
Thank you, Jasper. So, Oliver Anthony is one of the other ones we're doing that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I had forgotten that.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's a really fascinating story, and the fact that you have some of the retired guards there to get firsthand information from is really interesting. So
good deal. All right, man.
And take your children. I mean, it'll scare them a little bit to think that this is what kind of facility they'd have to be in.
That gives me an idea.
Yeah.
Because I'm sincere when I say we didn't get out and do anything. It's hard anyway, because when I have the kids and all the different stuff, scheduling and all that, but I think they would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'd like to go through, and even if they kick and scream that they don't, once you get them in there and get them going, and seeing some of the stuff and learning about the history. A lot of cool stuff going on.
Well, when we were there, when the inmates were actually there, it's kind of set up like a you got the main hall in the middle, and then the cells are out through the side, down the side, and it's 3 stories. And so we didn't go in that section. They said, we're not going to take you down through there, because you got to think about it. These are where these guys live. You don't know what state of dress they're in. You don't know what they'll do, or anything like that. And they all faced out, so they didn't face each other. They didn't have a cell across from them. So they would either be up or down, and they would throw stuff to each other, and all kinds of stuff. So like,
it's not something you wanted to
we're not going to let you all walk down through there. But I just didn't. I never thought about that. That this is where they're living. I mean, this is where they do everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How long has it been closed?
I think it was closed for a while before it was ever transformed into what it is now. I'm thinking it's probably going on at least between 5 to 10 years.
That's a long time. Did they sell that or are they state leasing it?
I think they're leasing it. I think the county actually owns it. Because it was surplus, just like anything else that that a state owns. They surplus it.
Yeah.
And I think they actually gave it to the county instead of auctioning it off.
So the deal that the Brushy Mountain folks have is with
I think they're, yes. And I don't think they actually own the prison part or lease that. They just kind of manage the tour, because I think the county gets a portion of the admission. If I'm not I may be wrong about that, but I think that's the setup that I remember. So they actually have a part out, and that's why it is separate.
Gotcha.
Why it's separate from the other section.
Cool.
Because I think at one time they have a maximum security section in the back. It was the newest building. I think they were going to try to put the brewery there, but just logistics just didn't work out. So that's why they built the other stuff in front.
I'd like to take that tour sometime. And
it is very fascinating.
I met the last concert that we went to up there. I met one of the inmates that was there. He said he was there for 30 years. And he's one of the guys that give the tours. I can't remember his name, Jasper would, but he's one of the guys that give the tours. And he was just telling me I probably talked to him for 5 minutes, but he was just telling me some of the stuff then. He was like, you need to come bring your family and make sure you ask for me, and I'll take you around, because I know all the little secrets. I said, okay, that'd be great. So get out and do it, folks. We got a lot of nice stuff right here in our backyard. All right, Miss Stephanie. Set up for the 4th Tuesday of the month. Try and have you back now that we're getting busy.
I've got you back on my schedule.
All right, very good. I've got you here on ours, too. So we will see you in the month of April. By that time, things will be rocking and rolling.
Yes.
Happy Easter.
You too.
I hope you have a great Easter.
You too.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up. We'll let Miss Stephanie go. And in the meantime, if you guys have comments, questions, or whatever, get back to me, or you can find a lot of answers on the website, adventureanderson.com or y'allcome.org. And again, all the stuff that's going on, if you just shoot it over to me, we'll put it on the bulletin board too. Keep getting it out there as much as we can. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey friends, it's Cougar from Rusty Wallace Nissan. It's March, so let the madness begin. You won't get your bracket busted when you score one of these deals. 2023 Rogues from $24,900 or just $359 a month. 23 Kicks versus or Sentras, you pick from just $19,900 or $249 a month. And we made a special purchase of 23 Armadas and Pathfinders at $10,000 off original new MSRP. So come on over to Clinton Highway or shop in those big orange basketball socks at RustyWallaceNissan.com.
If you're an RN, LPN, CNA, or personal caregiver and you're tired of high staff-to-patient ratios and not having a work-family life balance, you should consider working for the Home Option in Oak Ridge. They offer competitive wages, one-on-one patient care, flexible scheduling, training, and comprehensive benefits for eligible employees. Make a lasting difference in someone's life and take a step to improve your life. Call the Home Option at 865-220-1700 or Google the Home Option in Oak Ridge.
Win up to $250,000 this month in the Mint and Match promotion at the Mint Gaming Hall. You can be chosen to play in the Friday and Saturday drawings and match your way up to a $250,000 prize. Take a free swipe on Mondays through Thursdays to win up to $500 free play. Play Mint and Match at the Mint Gaming Hall in Williamsburg, Kentucky. Check out themintgaming.com for details. Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Winning just got closer.
You never know when life is going to throw you a curveball. Say you're involved in a traffic accident and you need some legal advice. Maybe you're released from your job for no reason. Or you suspect it's because you're getting older. You might know of someone whose marriage is on the rocks. Divorce is soon. Bad things happen to good people all the time. And Saturday mornings from 11 until noon, T. Scott Jones will be taking your calls and giving you legal advice. That's 11 until noon Saturday mornings, right here on WYSH.
Happy New Year from Hammers. Get this year started off right with new bargains from Hammers. Since 1952, Hammers has been bringing low prices and incredible deals to East Tennessee. The Hammers family will continue to make sure that our stores provide the same everyday low prices from your favorite brands in clothing and home goods in 2024. We want our customers, old and new, to have the same great shopping experience as in the good old days. Come on out and check out our famous brands like Carhartt, Wrangler, Columbia, Simply Southern, and many of the latest ladies' boutique brands at Hammers' low prices. Redecorating in the new year? Come on out and shop our great selection of area rugs and home decor. So before you shop online, come and shop with Hammers, Clint, Sevierville, Halls, New Tazewell, and Wartburg, a hometown retailer that supports the community you live in. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Don't forget to check out our Hammers Instagram and Facebook. And remember, if you miss a day at Hammers, you'll miss a bargain.
To Hammers, you should see us now.
Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring Gain scent beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent maracas smell amazing. You could call them scent maracas, but most noses call them Gain scent beads. Try Gain scent beads. Way fresher than detergent alone.
Savings. Now that's speaking the Lowe's language. And with My Lowe's Rewards, your savings just keep coming. Save money with member-only offers and earn points when you shop. More points equal more rewards just for you. Because Lowe's knows you earned it, literally. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowes.com/MyLowe'sRewards. Program subject to terms and conditions. Points are awarded on eligible purchases. See Lowes.com/terms for full details. Subject to change.
Jasper is just a font of information today. The guard's name, or the tour guide's name that I was talking about, is George, if you would like to ask for George. And the prison closed June 11th, 2009. The functions were then transferred to the Morgan County Correctional Complex. In 2018, Brushy Mountain was reopened for public tours, private events, car shows, and concerts. There you go. We've been doing stuff with them probably since 2018, I reckon. Since they opened. And we appreciate working with them. Oliver Anthony, Travis Tritt, like I said, I think Jamie Johnson, summer concert series that is happening at Brushy Mountain this year. Travis Tritt's going to be fun. That'll be a big show. Big show. We were able to be part of the Travis Tritt Show. Not at the fair. He was most recently at the Knoxville Fair, but prior to that, he was over at Maryville College, and I can't remember the year, but he did an acoustic set, sold that place out, and I didn't get to go, but, man, everybody said it was great. So I'm looking forward to maybe getting to go see Travis Tritt, loading the car up. Maybe even make the kids go. I don't know. Good morning, everybody. Ask Your Neighbor. We're going to put a lid on it 17 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. Thank you very much for hanging out. Hey, I'll tell you this. I was told last night, and I confirmed today, that our former police chief, Mr. Rick Scarborough, has put his name in the hat as to run for state representative on the Republican ticket. So there you go. I'll have to get Rick up here. You know, I have John up here to talk to him about things. So I'm going to see if I can get Chief Scarborough, former Chief Scarborough, get Rick up here, talk a little bit about what he wants to do and what he's been doing. He's been working for the University of Tennessee with their law enforcement education departments, doing a lot of stuff, doing a lot of traveling, training a lot of police officers, a lot of chiefs and things of that nature. But we'll see. We'll get him up here and see what his vision for running for state rep is, the things he wants to do. Rick Scarborough. So, Rick, if you're listening, or somebody, or I know David's listening, I'll call him. I'll call Rick later. But, Dave, if you see him, tell him to holler at me so we can get him up here on the radio. Have a great day, everybody. And if you want to be on the radio, you can just call me. I'll put you on the radio, too. That's kind of the way we roll. In the meantime, have a great day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Wednesday, the 27th. We'll be back here, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Hang out here with us. Of course, I got great classic country music. That's one thing we do. John Michael Montgomery, Life's a Dance, coming up. Kate Osland come next Monday. I mean, we've got great music on the way. We always do. I hope you all enjoy it and tell your friends and neighbors about it. I want to remind you, too, if you're out there and maybe country music, you like country music, classic country, but maybe you also like classic rock and roll, you can tune over to 95.9 FM, depending on where you are. It's Campbell County, Anderson County radio station. That's what it's geared to. Basically, we catered up to Norris Lake and that area, but 95.9 FM, 95.9 rocks if you like classic rock. Check it out. Try it out. Think you'll like it. And then, of course, we've got Merle. And if you like gospel music, the number one gospel radio station in the United States of America, right up the road, 96.3 Praise FM WJBZ. We've got that for you, too. So a little bit of something for everybody, no matter what you like, country music, gospel music, classic rock music. It's all right here under our roof. And we hope that you all enjoy it. Have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, dialing up, and listening in.
Thank you for listening to AM 1380 WYSH and Ask Your Neighbor. Make sure you tune in at 10 a.m. each day, Monday through Friday, right here on AM 1380 WYSH and BBB TV 12. Or listen live online at WYSHradio.com. And remember, if you have a question, comment, or problem, call in tomorrow and ask your neighbor. Or email from our website. It's Ask Your Neighbor.